Colin Caruso here, Artistic Director of Color for John Paul Mitchell Systems, welcoming you guys to our digital Crema XG color class. The goal of this class is to create an easy learning path that will set you guys up to win with this incredible new product. What is Crema XG? Well, it is our ammonia-free, vegan, demi-permanent hair color, perfectly shade matched for color XGs. Best part about it to me, it's also vegan, which is a huge opportunity, especially with the Gen Z clientele, younger clientele, to really have a color line that not only performs, but is also animal friendly and safe. We encourage you guys to first review the media and the e-learning modules as the initial introduction to Crema XG. The video is designed to give you an additional stylist perspective and user insights to set you up to win. In this video, we will share specific usage instructions, formulation tips, mixing application strategies to make sure you guys have the ins and outs of working with Crema XG. We will also answer some frequently asked questions that may arise from experienced users to first-time users, anything in between. We want to make sure we give you guys the answers you need. So a lot of you guys might also be asking, if I'm not a Color XG user, do I need Crema XG in my life? And my answer is yes, absolutely. We have a color line that performs and works well. We also have digital resources at Paul Mitchell Pro or Color HQ where you guys can log in and learn how to perfectly shade match our Crema XG with existing color lines you're using that are not Paul Mitchell. So you have conversion charts, guys, we have background stories, all of our tonal bases are broken down so you guys will be able to visually see what this color looks like in your head before you ever apply it to the hair itself. Also, if you are an existing Paul Mitchell Color XG user, your life just got a whole lot easier. So if you guys are loving the results you get, if you're very familiar with the Color XG line, you now have an ammonia-free, demi-permanent cream hair color line that's gonna work right alongside that. So all the shades you love, all the vibrancy you love, all the shine, all the healthy feel you love from Color XG, you're gonna get that and more from Crema XG. This is a product that not only looks good, it feels even better. So get to learning, get comfortable putting yourselves out there, connect with one of the best educators we have, talking Crema XG, Miss Jenn Montoya. Enjoy your class, so let's get started.
Hi everyone, I'm Jenn Montoya at Palmore, and I'm so excited to bring to you Crema XG. Crema XG is the newest addition to the Color XG family. With Crema XG, you get tons of conditioning, tons of shine. It's really going to give the hair the most amazing feel, and the guest is going to leave with shiny, healthy hair. Now that you're understanding a little bit more about Crema XG, let's talk a little bit about why would we choose Crema XG versus the Demi. Crema XG, we know that it's going to be that cream, shade matched, ammonia-free demi-permanent. And then we have the Demi, which is going to be our liquid gel color. When it comes to cream versus demi-permanent, there are going to be some characteristic differences. They're going to have some similarities. How we choose those two different products is really going to be based on our expertise as a hairdresser. Cream is going to offer you the opacity that you may be looking for. It's very similar to the opacity of a permanent hair color, but with a demi-permanent, you don't have to worry about the ammonia content. You're going to have those really rich, vibrant tones. It's really helpful when you're working with reds and ashes to have that opacity. When working with techniques such as foil work, maybe you're low lighting, maybe you're working more in a technique that you would like to have a little bit of that thicker viscosity or creaminess of a cream demi-permanent. When it comes to a liquid demi-permanent, it has tons of different options. It's great for those quick toning opportunities at the wash house. A liquid color is going to allow you to use a bottle applicator or a bowl and a brush, where a cream, you really want to focus on using more of that bowl and brush application. They both are going to give that condition and shine. Where I think some differences really fit for me as a hairdresser in my experience with using both products is if I'm looking for a quick, faster application, because that liquid demi is going to be a bit quicker, I might choose that. Now, a lot of times when working with very porous, very inconsistent, low integrity hair, we know that color tends to absorb rather quickly. Sometimes in this case, opacity is not going to be the strongest choice. So this is when I would personally like to reach for more of my liquid demi-permanent if I'm worried about porosity or over deposit. But with both Crema XG and Palmore the Demi, you're going to be able to have that 1-to-1 mixing ratio, 20-minute processing time, both going to give tons of shine and condition. It's really just going to be more or less about the preference of the hairdresser, the needs of the guests, and where you're trying to go with your color formulation.
Let's review the tonal series in Crema XG and discuss the backgrounds and tones we use. Background color and tone are terms used throughout the shade descriptions. Background color is the foundation of the hair color base. It helps produce balanced results. XG shades are formulated with either a brown to tan background color, which helps ensure natural results in Crema XG, and gray coverage results in Color XG, our permanent cream hair color line. It can also be formulated with black to gray background color, which will help minimize warmth and ensure balanced results when neutralizing tones. Tone is the special character or general reflect of a color. Violet, pearl, and ash are words that refer to tone. Both natural and artificial hair colors have a tone. A properly selected shade can enhance, balance, or counteract the hair's natural undertones. When selecting a Crema XG shade, be sure to keep those backgrounds and tones in mind to better familiarize yourself with the XG families. N/0 is natural. As the foundation of the XG brands, the naturals contain a brown to tan background of color. While they have no added tones, they produce slightly cool, natural looking results. NN/00, natural. The natural naturals contain a slightly higher dose of brown to tan background color than the natural family. While these shades have no added tones, they do produce a slightly cooler end result. When looking to achieve great blending, we recommend using N or NN in your formula. NB/07, natural brown. The natural browns have a brown to tan background color and produce soft results with a subtle hint of gold. Use these when a guest wants a rich, naturally warm result. RB/47, red brown. The red browns contain a brown to tan background color and have a red tone. While these shades blend red and brown, red is dominant and brown makes the shade appear natural. BA/71, brown ash. The brown ashes have a brown to tan background color with just enough smoky, cool blue ash tones to balance undertones. PN/80, pearl natural. The pearl naturals have a brown to tan background, blended with a pearl tone. Use them whenever you want to create a soft iridescent tone with a pearlized pink reflect. RO/43, red orange. The red oranges are a pure tone with no background color. The results are predominantly red with an orange secondary tone for vibrant, intense fashion results. R/4, red. The reds are pure tone with no background color. Shades in this family are cool, red garnet tones available in levels 5 and 6. These produce strong, rich, true red results. VR, violet red. The violet reds are pure tone with no brown background color. The primary tone is violet and the secondary tone is red. Available at levels 3 and 5, these produce cool, deep, rich violet red results. V/6, violet. The violets are pure tone with no background color. Available in levels 6, 8, and 10, they produce a rosy red violet tone at lighter levels and a deep, rich eggplant at level 6. P/86, platinum. The platinums are pure tone and have no background color. Available in levels 8 and 10, they are best for controlling yellow undertones. The pinky pearl tone contributes to a creamy blonde result that's never too cool or icy. PA/81. The pearl ashes have no brown background color. Use them for refining pre-lined hair when you want to diminish unwanted gold in levels 7, 8, and 10. The final color has distinctive and soft iridescent blue character. A. Stroke 1. Ash. The ashes are formulated with a blue tone and a subtle amount of black to gray background color. Use these shades to control red, orange, and yellow-orange undertones. AA. Stroke 1-1. Ash Ash. The Ash Ash shades are formulated with a black to gray background and have an intense blue tone. They are ideal in creating beautifully cool brunettes and neutralizing hard to control orange undertones. There is also a 1AA, which can be used to keep naturally dark hair both dark and cool.
Now we're going to get into the Crema XG how-to. This is your swatch chart. Your swatch chart is going to hold all of the information we're going to discuss in these next few minutes and answer additional questions that you might have. Everything lives here. This is a one-stop shop for formulating, for looking at all of the shade offerings. This is my go-to when I'm in the salon. I just have it hanging up in my color bar. It's just an easy reference from anything you need, from formulation to application. And you can see it has the color map, it has the mixing ratio, formulation steps, all of the application options. It also has all of your clear and gray coverage guidelines. My favorite part is just knowing that the tonal series chart is right here. I also have all of the shade offerings at my fingertips. It really helps take the guesswork out of any formulating challenge or for any guest that I'm working with. So this is really going to be a great tool for you when using Crema XG. First and foremost, let's talk about formulation. Crema XG, because of the fact that there is no ammonia, you will not have to worry about any of the natural base shifting. It's truly going to be a deposit only. Now, when working with a demi-permanent and working with Crema XG, we are deposit only with that color. So we want to be sure to understand, are we going to enhance, neutralize, or intensify what's living in that canvas? So for instance, if I have a guest that's coming in and they have a ton of orange just from being out in the sun, Crema XG is going to be a wonderful way for me to do that. I know that I'm going to use the law of color and color theory in order to pick my formulation. We have tons of cool options in our shade offering. You would be able to neutralize that warmth no problem. And how you formulate would really be, based on what you're trying to do with that guest. So if you're trying to give a beautiful vibrant red, copper or violet, that's something you can do with Crema XG. Neutralize. You can also do that, and if you're looking for those beautiful rich brunettes, you have that option as well. Next, you're going to focus on your mixing. Mixing is super easy. I am not somebody who loves math, so I'm very thankful for the 1-to-1 mixing ratio. Super simple. I don't have to think a lot about it. We really want to recommend that you only use 10 volume cream developer. I always get the question, do you use a higher developer if I want to achieve anything different outside of the manufacturer's directions or how we best recommend how to use it? And the answer is no. You really don't need to lean on any other developer. Using a 20 volume won't give you additional great coverage or blend, so just stick with the 1-to-1 mixing ratio and your 10 volume. Super easy to use. When it comes to gray blending, I think it's really important just to understand the guidelines. Crema XG is going to be great for blending gray up to 30%. It's really for those people who have that true 30% gray hair within a full canvas of natural color. So if you're looking at somebody who just has a little bit of that peppering starting to happen, this is where Crema XG would be really helpful to help blend. There are some guidelines and steps to have better success. You want to make sure that you use the N series or the NN series in order to achieve more of that true blend. Dropping a level is always going to be a benefit. You'll have a little bit more pigment in there to help achieve that gray blending more. So for instance, if you are working with a level 5 and that's your target level, I would formulate with a level 4, making sure to drop that level. And the last step that you really want to think about is extending that time out. The normal processing time for Crema XG is going to be 20 minutes. you would extend it 10 more minutes for a total time of 30 minutes. And like I said, everything's going to live in your swatch chart. If you have additional questions or need to reference it, it will live there. Now, when it comes to clear, clear is going to be a great tool. It's used multiple ways within the Crema XG brand. You can use it alone, and because it doesn't shift or lift, it won't bump that natural color. You're able to apply it from scalp to ends on virgin hair just to add shine. Maybe you have a color shy guest. Maybe you do a lot of haircuts. This is a great way to introduce color. More importantly, clear is going to be a tool that you're going to use when it comes to eliminating as much opacity, softening the tone, and really formulating it into those formulas when you're applying to maybe a guest who has really porous or hair that's the integrity is not very strong. This is where clear added into any formula is going to assist. Let's talk a little bit about application. We understand that there's not one head of hair that's going to be the same. I think it's really important to consider texture. We know that it's going to play a huge role in how we formulate. Let's focus on the new application first. Maybe they have more of that truly healthy, medium to coarse textured hair. The application is going to be super easy when it comes to those types of guests. We know that the porosity is pretty even. You're able to apply Crema XG from scalp to ends on dry hair and process for the full 20 minutes. When it comes to those guests who have that same new healthy hair, but maybe it's a little bit more on the porous side due to environmental. Maybe it's just simply that their hair is finer, it's a medium texture, so that naturally becomes a little bit more porous. If you have a guest that has that type of hair texture, or you have somebody who has a little bit more porosity through the mid-lengths and ends, a really easy way to even out the porosity is using our Awapui Moisture Mist, just to mist on those pieces of hair or that areas of hair that tend to be a little bit more porous. Another way you would be able to even out the porosity is just lightly misting the hair with a spray bottle. You don't want it to be soaking or dripping wet. You really just want it to be towel dried, damp to the touch. If it's too wet, it could prohibit your formula from depositing the way you want it to, and it really could give it a little bit too much dilution with that water. From there, you would be able to apply your Crema XG from scalp to the ends. Because you've equalized that porosity, the end result will be nice and even. Process for 20 minutes and you're good to go. When it comes to blonding, we know that blonde hair has been previously lightened. We know that the cuticle is swollen, and we know that it tends to be a little bit more porous. So when it comes to using Crema XG and refining and toning blondes, the ammonia-free formula is going to give a lot of shine and condition. It's not going to lift the natural base. So if you've done foil work and there's natural hair still living within that color technique that you've just done, you don't have to worry about it bumping the base at all. Are you looking to control and neutralize any residual warmth? Are you looking to sort of enhance that? It's up to you. Is to make sure to not only wet the hair and get all that lightener out, but give it a nice gentle cleanse with shampoo. That's really going to make sure that all of that lightener is out of the hair. Towel dry the hair really well, and then apply your Crema XG toner choice. So the timing for this would be 5 to 20 minutes. You want to make sure that you look and watch and see every step of the way. Sometimes I leave it on as short as 5 minutes. There have been times that I have been able to leave my toner on for a full 20 minutes. So you really just have to be the judge. When you rinse out your toner, it's always a good practice to give a light cleanse and condition and just make sure that you've removed all of the color. When it comes to refreshing, so this is something that you're going to think about using clear for. A lot of times when working with Crema XG, you'll find that it's very, very long lasting. Working with a long lasting demi-permanent is always a great thing, but a lot of times we've gotten into the habit, or our guests have the habit of us pulling through the color from the mid-lengths to the ends every single time. With Crema XG, you'll find that it's a long lasting color, and if somebody's coming in very frequently for a gray touch-up, for instance, possibly every 3 to 4 weeks, you might find you don't need to refresh the midshaft and ends every single time. A good solution would be using clear by itself to give that shine and condition. But if you are going to do a color refresh from the mids and ends and you're concerned about too much deposit, you're concerned about porosity, you're concerned about the hair texture, this is when you would add clear in order to help soften that opacity. And last but not least, what does it look like to do a shade matched color application? When using Color XG, we use Color XG as our permanent hair color. It could be for gray coverage, it could be for lifting, just depends on what the need is. Either way, you're going to have the shade match choice when it comes to Crema XG. Thinking about all of the things we discussed, porosity, hair texture, integrity, you really want to follow the application directions as we discussed earlier. So really how that would look with a shade match application, you would use your Color XG, apply that to the base first. From there, you know that you would need to time your second application of your mid-lengths to ends in an appropriate amount of time if you're however long you're planning to process the Crema XG. From there, if the hair needs to be applied on dry, that's completely fine. If the hair needs a little bit of equalization of porosity, then that's when you would go ahead and mist it down a bit and add the refresh to that type of hair. If it needs to be more at the shampoo bowl, at the wash house, and maybe you do a comb through of the color and let it sit for a few minutes based on the needs of the guest. It's up to you. It's just knowing that you're going to be able to get that shade match end result. A couple of things to consider because of that deposit only. You want to be sure that you might need to control warmth a little bit more. You might want to boost up the red a little bit more. It depends on what you're trying to do, but thinking about all of those steps in your formulation and based on the porosity as well, you might add in some clear. You might go up a level. It's really based on your expertise and you're going to make the best judgment call in how you formulate for that guest.
Frequently asked questions. Now that we have reviewed the ins and outs of Crema XG, we wanted to share a few frequently asked questions that you too may have while you begin using and loving Crema XG while working with your guests. MEA and ammonia. Crema XG is an ammonia-free demi-permanent hair color that uses monoethanolamine, MEA, as the alkali. This gives the hair enough alkalinity to swell the hair and deposit color with true demi results. This also makes Crema XG a low commitment and flexible tonal only deposit color. It's also long lasting, but the commitment isn't that of a permanent hair color. Having an ammonia-free hair color does not mean ammonia is bad or shouldn't be used. Simply put, ammonia creates a higher pH that allows the hair to swell more, affecting the natural pigment, either by lifting it out or depositing/replacing it with permanent results. Ammonia is necessary for many services, including full gray coverage. Having Crema XG as an ammonia-free option plus Color XG as your permanent color strengthens your service options and possibilities for a well-rounded service. How do I know if my guests are allergic to Crema XG? We always recommend performing an allergy test prior to a color service anytime you are introducing a new hair color to your guests. Just like certain foods and materials, hair color products can cause allergic reactions in some people. What is the pH level of Crema XG? The pH of Crema XG straight out of the tube ranges from 7 to 9.5, and the pH depends on the level and tone as colorants can influence the pH. The shift in pH has nothing to do with its longevity or ability to deposit. Also, mixing with developer has minimal effect on the final pH level of the product. Although Crema XG has an alkaline pH, it is just enough alkalinity to deposit a true demi-permanent result with no lift.
Thank you for joining today. I hope you enjoyed this class all about Crema XG. We're so excited for you to try it and love it and create all these different formulas for your guests and boost your dollars behind the chair with color services. For more on-demand learning or anything educational, visit palmmitchellpro.com and Color HQ. These are two places that you'll be able to find additional information such as tip cards, technique videos, on-demand learning, conversion charts. You have it all at your fingertips with these two resources. We look forward to seeing all of your beautiful work out there. Thank you.